You son of
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
You really adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Bazinga.
Two in the box. Ready to go. We be fast. They be slow.
Cool.
All right, and we're recording. Welcome to the Mt.Geekmore podcast, your favorite podcast where you come to watch four people talk, debate, argue over their favorite top four, Mount Rushmore, if you will, of your favorite pop culture subjects. Today's pop culture subject, we're getting in the spirit of the St. Patrick's Day holiday. That's not for another week. But please join us for the Mount Rushmore of Irish actors and actresses. Just want to make sure I say actors and I include both genders, but I know that some people may not.
Same.
There you go. All right. I'm pretty impressed with myself because I not only did I put together this fabulous backdrop that I googled, but the intro video I just made right now, I just finished making that. So like just
Nice.
Yeah, stroke them nicely. I have Larry Science with me as usual is David Ulloa.
Howdy.
And then we got Daniel Dabona.
What up, y'all?
And we got Jeff, the most Irish Americancini.
Of the McGroin clan.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Stop. Oh, sorry.
What the hell was that?
my fat finger
Are
touched
you-
the mouse was hovering over the video and I just must have touched it.
You had too many potatoes.
Come for the pro quality podcasting. Stay for the bullshit.
Hi, Missy.
Hey, Missy. I don't know why her picture is not showing up, but it just Missy says, "What's up?"
It's a thumbnail. It's a thumbnail of the thumbnail.
We are recording for those of you listening to the audio as you usually do through iHeartMedia or through the Helium Podcast Network or the Geek Bro Network. Just know that you could be watching us live on Facebook and the YouTubes. So go check us out. Check out either my comedy page or check out the Mt.Geekmore Facebook and the Mt.Geekmore YouTube, and then we'll be able to see live. And when you do watch us live, you could comment, and then we could click on the comments, and then you could tell us how bad our picks are. So with that said, let's get on with it, man. How did you guys make your selections, David?
So I did not think. All right. So who are the most critically acclaimed Irish actors? I mean, I think these were all great actors, but I went with the actors that when I see them on TV, I stop what I'm doing and I watch. So these are the ones that I find to be most enjoyable, and I mean, I've seen their movies, over and over and over again, and I enjoy their presence.
All right. And Debona, how did you make your selection?
Similarly to Dave, actually, like there were a bunch of people that I thought were, I thought this was going to be pretty straightforward, and then when I really started thinking about it and looking at different people, and I started to ride that line between best and favorite, and just kind of found people that I think are amazing actors that I really love, that fit the category of being Irish.
All right. Debona, if you could do me a favor, you could lower the volume of the mic a little bit. You were a little hot. You came in a little hot.
Came in hot.
Came in hot.
Better?
Fire.
Do it again.
Better?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Get it go.
All right. Jeffrey.
So my number one was pretty clear to me, and I'll explain about that when we get there. But I have one spot still open because there's so many great Irish actors and some actresses that it was hard for me. I had put someone in, and then I was like, I don't know, but it's not necessarily favorites in the general scope, like the bonus said that they might be critically acclaimed or not. It's just actors that I love them, and I found out they were Irish. So that's what I went with.
I went with whoever has an accent, like your strongest accent.
All right, so we're getting Australian, South American.
Yeah, this motherfucker. He's gonna have Sean Connery as his number 4.
The strongest accent. Get in, my. If you have Irish heritage, but nobody knew about it until you're 23andMe came in, get the fuck out of my name.
I'm 5% Irish.
Yeah, you better hit me with your fucking. You better hit me. You fucking 4-leaf clovers better come out of your mouth when you fucking speak. That's how I'm talking about. When I watch a movie of yours, I should want to fucking eat Lucky Charms. If I don't fucking eat Lucky Charms, if I don't want to eat Lucky Charms when I watch you, you're not Irish to me. Fuck you. Let's move on. And that's what I'm picking, man. I'm going with that shit.
There goes that joke.
So, but realistically, I just honestly, I just Googled Irish actors and I went with the 4 that are my favorite and happen to be the best, I think. So there's that. All right. That was the we got a new signal for when we hit the 4-minute mark, because for the listeners, we have a 5 minutes. Just so that you know, listeners, we have a 5-minute per pick timer. And we used to put up a little sign on the screen that said 4 minutes, meaning that you're at 4 minutes and you have 1 minute left. The new one says wrap it up. It's out there on the screen. Nobody's watching it, but okay.
I know I've seen it because I watch your other streams.
I had to let my dog out.
Is that who you were talking to, your dog? I sort of I was like, he talked to his kid that way? That's cool.
No, my dog kept jumping in my lap.
Hey guys, I figured out who let the dog out.
Oh.
All right, number 4.
Let me just
leave the jokes to Neri.
Let me just remove Jeff. No.
Can you hear me?
Missy said Amy Adams. No. I'm mistaken. In talking to Missy about this, I was like, she goes, let me see who's gonna make my list. She started like making her own list. And I said, Amy Adams. And she said, is she Irish? And I go, yeah, she made that Irish movie.
Definitely not Irish.
Definitely not Irish, but I didn't know that until after I Googled it. And then it's funny because she was like, first of all, just because you make a movie about being Irish doesn't mean you're actually Irish. That's called acting.
Did you know that Anthony Daniels is actually an android?
I don't know what that reference is, but yeah,
he's C-3PO, dude. Fuck.
God damn it!
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I was
gonna be that kind of night, huh?
I was having sex in high school. Sorry. Then I'm kidding. I mean, I was, but she was.
Does jerking off count as sex? I guess. Okay.
I mean, does a lesbian count as having sex with? I
mean.
So then, then Missy was like,
why not?
and then Missy said, first of all, just because you make a movie about being Irish doesn't mean you're actually Irish. And second of all, that movie wasn't even about her being Irish.
No. She did go to Ireland.
She did go to Ireland and she met, and she was following her fiance, which is Irish, which was Irish. So that's a whole thing.
She was supposed to propose on February 29th.
Amy Adams' version of the Quiet
shit
Man
show of a movie.
Yeah. Did you not like that movie? You didn't like that movie?
I did not. And I like Amy Adams. That one just didn't do it for me.
It's funny because once you do a certain role for like in the case of Amy, she did like a serious movie and then she got like critically acclaimed. There's no going back to like the romantic comedy.
Yeah.
You can't really teeter that fucking, you know what I mean? You can't really have that. It's not like people who do comedies and dramatic movies. You could do that, but romantic comedies for women and dramatic roles, there's no crossover, which is kind of shitty, I think. All right. With that said, let's get it going, man. We're gonna go to number 4s.
Number 4.
Round 4.
I'm in no mood for your wives' crack. Let's get it on.
All right. To our live viewers, that is the first time you hear that.
It was nice to hear. It was nice to hear.
Yeah. So, what is your number 4, David?
All right, so I am making like a last-minute judgment call here. I'm between two people, so I'm going to go. My number 4 is Katrina Balfe from the show Outlander, and I'm going to be honest. This is like just about the only thing I know her from. She's had small roles in other movies, but fuck, she's such a great actress. She is absolutely fantastic. And Outlander, for those of you who are not in the know, is a fantastic like historical romance drama war TV show. And like there's a little bit of something for everyone there. And she's just I think she's just, for starters, she's gorgeous. Like she is just a knockout. But on top of that, she is a brilliant actress, and she gets this idea of the medical profession being a calling across so well, because she's a World War II nurse who is transported back in time to 18th century Scotland, and has to try to live in this world that is obviously antiquated for her, and she knows all these medical procedures and is therefore perceived as something other than right. Yeah, so that's part of the storyline in the first season. And as these things go along, and so it's an incredible character arc. The relationship that she has with Sam Ewan is just awesome on the show, and she's fantastic. So Katrina Balfe.
Yeah, I had an issue putting people that I already knew from one role. They're just on a personal level. Like I wanted to put like there's a certain actor that I knew, but I already knew him from one role, and I'm like, nah, I don't really feel.
See, I made that judgment call for a couple of other actors, but she endeared herself so much to me.
She's hot. Stop it.
I'm supporting this pick, and I've only seen one episode of Outlander, and she got munched on the top of a table in ruins of a Scottish castle. So I'm in.
God bless her. I'm in from that description. She makes the mountain.
It's every episode, BFF. You just mentioned every episode.
It is. It's every episode. It's every episode. It's like swords slicing through people, sex. Sword slicing through people, more sex, and then another sword. It's just the
old sword.
Sword. Classic sword action. I already know Jeff is bringing.
Calm down, Juan. We just started.
That Jeff is bringing. He said that Jeff is bringing a Boondock Saints, or did I miss it already?
Yeah, he that's my old coworker. He knows. I was obsessed with that movie. He knows that.
For the articles.
Watches Outlander for the articles. I don't know what's wrong with. Why is this? I don't know what's wrong with. It's not getting people's pictures.
Oh yeah, no, it's not loading on mine either.
It's only Missy though, because Juan Ugarte.
No, I'm not showing one for Juan either.
No, look, even Juan.
No, Juan's not showing up.
Not when you throw it up, but I'm seeing it in the comments.
It's the leprechaun.
For me, it's the opposite. When you throw, it doesn't show it in the comments, but when you throw it up, I can see it.
One last word on this. Neri, there is no rhyme or reason as to why someone made my mountain. Because, just for example, I don't know if he is on anyone's list. Don't say anything if he is. I didn't go with Peter O'Toole because I really only know him from Lawrence of Arabia. And it's a fantastic performance, the performance of a lifetime. But...
You only know him from Lawrence of Arabia? Sir, that was the butler in King Ralph, you heathen.
Ratatouille. He's the critic in Ratatouille as well.
He was the critic in Ratatouille.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean...
Swine.
You uncultured swine. King Ralph, sir.
All right. So, I don't even know, like, how do you pronounce that fucking, like, how do you pronounce her name? Because you don't spell like Katrina.
Well, it's not spelled like Katrina, but it's pronounced like Katrina. It's spelled like Katriana, and Balfe is Balfe.
No, I know how to spell the name. I'm just saying, how do you pronounce it?
Katrina Balfe.
Katrina Balfe.
Oh, Dave, he was in the Supergirl movie.
Oh man, I haven't seen that in so
Yeah,
long.
apparently I'm looking because like I had Peter
You
O'Toole's
didn't
an
know
honorable
Peter O'Toole
mention
was a
too.
Supergirl movie? I knew him from that before I knew him from Lawrence of Arabia.
Well, I mean,
And you
that
knew him
tracks.
from King Ralph before Lawrence of Arabia.
Correct. I mean, I saw Lawrence of Arabia the first half.
So are we just firing it up there that like nobody has Peter O'Toole on their list? Or
Yeah. Oh, sorry. DeBona table? Should we table this?
No.
All right. DeBona, what do you got for your number 4?
My number 4 is also a woman. She has not had a ton of roles yet, but in everything I've seen her do, I've seen a ton of potential. And she is the woman who brought one of my favorite female comic book characters of all time to life. My number 4 is Ruth Nega. You may know her from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Raina, but more importantly, she is Tulip from Preacher. And that role, Tulip O'Hare, meant everything to me. Tulip O'Hare is absolutely one of my favorite characters. And then to see her so perfectly portrayed really put me on to Ruth Nega. I then liked her so much that I watched the movie Loving, which is about the Supreme Court case to legalize interracial marriage.
Yeah, that movie was good.
And she was incredible in that. She was very, very good in the first couple seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that she was in as Raina. I also think that she is just drop dead gorgeous, like just pure sexy. And just in everything she does, in all of her roles, as varied as they've been, there's a very understated elegance in what she does, mainly because of the roles aren't anything. And now she's done a ton of stuff that I haven't seen. I will admit that. I looked it up. She's done a bunch of British TV and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that she's done that I've not seen, but in the stuff that I know her from, the roles are not the most elegant thing in the world. And yet she still brings a very understated elegance to those roles. As Raina, she was great as this Inhuman that goes to work for Hydra. And in Loving, she played that role beautifully. And as Tulip O'Hare, she was just incredible. It was more than I thought that could be brought to that role. And I think that there's a lot of potential for Ruth Nega to go on and be somebody absolutely amazing that people are going to speak about for a very long time. I would have liked to put her higher up just because she's so good as Tulip, but it's not something I could bring myself to do because I only know her. I've only seen her in those 3 things, but I do just absolutely love her in those 3 roles. I've enjoyed watching her. I think that I love the way that she delivers lines. There's something about watching her that's captivating to me. And so I had to have her on my list. So number 4 is Ruth Nega.
I can't knock that. She was fantastic. She's awesome.
She's in
Christy actually mentioned that one.
Yeah, she's great. I've seen her in a bunch of stuff. I saw her in Loving. She's in the best zombie movie of all time, World War Z. So she's great, man.
And she was in the worst movie of all time, Warcraft.
she was.
That is not the worst movie of all time.
Oh God, I forgot she was in Warcraft.
Devon was like audible. No.
We all get one, right?
Yeah, man. All right, wait till you hear my number 4. You guys might agree with it. You might not.
All right. Well, let's hear it, buddy. What's your number 4, Jeff?
So my number 4 is Brenda Fricker. You don't know the name?
That name sounds really familiar to me.
Yeah, it will, especially when I tell you who she is. Well, she won an Academy Award for My Left Foot, which is an amazing movie. But she was known as 2 specific roles. One, she was the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And she was also she played the Scottish mom of Mike Myers in So I Married an Axe
Murderer. Yes. Okay.
And
I know exactly.
I absolutely loved. I mean, growing up, her the pigeon lady was like amazing. Like you fell in love with her. And then in So I Married an Axe Murderer, she's one of my favorite characters in that movie. Just like her hitting on his best friend the whole time. And like just being super like over the top. And I mean, she won an Academy Award for My Left Foot.
I was going to tell you, she's an actual Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I just looked her up. this past holiday season when I was watching, when my kids were watching Home Alone 2. And I was like, man, I wonder if, I wonder who that is, because she's like heavily covered in makeup. And then that one scene where she's talking to him, like where they go back to the church and she lives in an attic apparently or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, that's a pretty good scene. Like, that's a pretty good actress. I mean, as a kid, I just remember her feeding the pigeons.
Right.
But then you see that scene and you go, oh, that's a pretty good scene, man.
It's like she should win an Academy Award for something.
And then I looked it up. I looked it up and I went through a deep dive on her just this past December. So yeah, it was impressive that she won an Academy Award. Yeah.
Yeah. She's this one actress that I didn't realize she was Irish because I thought she was Scottish because of So I Married an Axe Murderer. And then when she popped up when I was doing the research, I was like, oh no, I have to put her on. Because she was a huge part of me growing up with the when Home Alone 2 came out with the Pigeon Lady, and So I Married an Axe Murderer. I used to watch that movie. I don't know why. I mean, I love the movie. I'm not gonna pretend, but what?
So I Married an Axe Murderer is.
Oh no, it's not good. But I used to watch that movie all the time. And like Mike, it's one of the quintessential Mike Myers. Like all the characters he plays in that movie,
but
like the dad,
play his own mom.
Yeah. He didn't.
Why Eddie Murphy's better?
Or is he? He got an Academy Award-winning actress to play his mom because she had already won an Academy Award by that point. But yeah, so Brenda Fricker is my number 4.
All right, right on, man. So my number 4 is by no means the worst actor of my list. But he is the one that I know him from the least amount of works. So that's kind of like what I want to go do. So my number 4 is Richard Harris.
Oh, great actor.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention for me.
Yeah. Did somebody say table? No? Okay.
No.
No, 3 people were talking, so I wanted to make sure. All right. So Richard Harris, of course, he was in Gladiator. That's the first time I remember like saying, I know that name, I know that guy. And then looking back, you go, oh no, I've seen him in other stuff before. So he was in Harry Potter. He was in the first 2, I think.
He was the first Dumbledore before he passed away.
He was the first Dumbledore, yep.
He was in the first 2 Harry Potters, and then he was in Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have listened to the podcast long enough, and we did the Westerns episode, you know that Unforgiven was my number 1. Gladiator was my number 1 revenge movie. So there's a fucking chance that Richard Harris is going to be in my top 4. Yeah, I put him as, and the only reason he's in my number 4 is because the 3 or 4 movies that I mentioned are really like, I know he's had 1,000. He was like, he had been in the industry for so long, but those are the 4 movies that I remember him from specifically. He was also in The Count of Monte Cristo, which I don't even remember that movie entirely, to be honest with you.
It wasn't about Bennigan.
Yeah. Well, I did. That threw me off. I was like, what the fuck? When's the sandwich gonna appear? When's the sandwich coming? He was in Patriot Games, apparently. I don't remember him in Patriot Games, but he was. So my opponent
was also in Orca, the Jaws ripoff.
Yes.
That's a thing?
Yes, that's a thing, Devona.
Or was Jaws
never seen Orca?
I've never seen Orca. I didn't know
that.
It's
more in the vein of like Piranha.
Did Orca come out first? Wait, did Orca come out first?
It's not as funny as Piranha.
God, Piranha's so good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're using the word good. But I don't think it means what you think it means. All right, I heard you. So my number 4 is Richard Harris. That's like I said, you could, and this is one of those lists. We were saying this before we went live. We were talking about each other's, like, how hard it was or what we went with, you're gonna. I mean, I'm going straight down the pipe with my picks here. There's nothing gonna be different or weird. So your bingo card should be filling up rather quickly for my picks. All right. Hold on. Sorry. Where's the? I should have done this a long time ago, and I don't know why I didn't. Sorry. All right. So the number 4s were Kate Trihuana Balafi. No, Caitlin Balfe.
Katrina Balfe.
Katrina Balfe.
Cool. Close enough.
Ruth Nega, Brenda Fricker, and Richard Harris. Apparently,
Ruth Nega, Brenda Fricker.
Fricker, Brenda Fricker.
Fricker, right? Is that
It
word?
sounds like mumble rappers.
Not Fricker. It's ER at the end, Neri, not A.
Oh, sorry. I try to stay away from the ER, man.
Mary tried to not hard R her name there.
Yeah.
What's that? Nega? Fricka?
I'm not getting canceled.
Yeah.
You can have Dr. Seuss, but not our podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, man, people suck.
Can you get canceled from unemployment? Is that a thing? All right, so that's our number 4s. Let's move on to our number 3s.
Round 3.
3 is a magic number. Yes, it is.
All right, number 3. Dave, what do you got for your number 3, man?
All right. So my number 3, I'm not sure if it's going to be contested because he wasn't born in Ireland, but his mother's Irish. He moved to Ireland when he was 2, and he is an Irish citizen. He's grown up and lived in Ireland his whole life. It's Michael Fassbender.
Not contending, tabling.
Oh.
All right.
He's an honorable mention for me.
He would have been had it not been for Dark Phoenix Rises. All right. That brought you down on my list, Michael. You couldn't even fucking try an accent. Not one fucking time you couldn't try an accent. Jesus. All right, we're moving on. Moving on. The Bono, what do you got for your number 3?
My number 3 is a guy that I almost didn't include because outside of movies, he's a notorious douchebag. But when it comes to his movies, I like them all. I think he's always incredible in what he does. My number 3 is Colin Farrell.
God damn it, my number 3 as well, my friend.
Colin Farrell for me is a guy that can't miss. I mean, even when you've got a movie like Daredevil.
Bullseye.
Yeah, exactly. Even when you've got a movie like Daredevil that I personally like, but obviously not critically acclaimed, he stole the show. Like he was absolutely incredible as Daredevil. I mean, a movie like Phone Booth that's essentially just him and Kiefer Sutherland's voice. Like that's the whole movie. It's him and Kiefer Sutherland's voice, and he's great. He's great. Minority Report, one of my favorites. Amazing role in that. Just every time like back when Dave did his intro, he said these are people that when I see their movies on TV, I'm gonna watch them, and that's Colin Farrell for me, man. Like when he's in a movie, I'm drawn in to what his role is. I want to see what he's doing. He's just done so many great things. He's been Jesse James, just so many great roles that Colin Farrell has had. And I almost didn't think I was going to fit him in because honestly, and I didn't switch it just when we started kind of ragging on him at the beginning, up until right before Showtime, I had Peter O'Toole in this slot, and then it became the thing where it was like, I've got to be true to myself. And yeah, I've seen Lawrence of Arabia. Like, let's move on. Colin Farrell, I've seen so many of his movies. I'm always just sucked into what he's doing. I think he's a great actor. You know, whether or not he's a tool hardly matters for what we're talking about right now. And did we lose Jeff? And so
about fucking time.
I think he's great. I even loved that movie SWAT that he did.
First of all,
I didn't hate it. It was
how
cool.
dare you say I even loved it? SWAT was awesome.
SWAT was awesome.
SWAT was so much fun.
And looking to the future, I'm extremely excited about him being Oswald Cobblepot in the new Batman movie.
Yeah,
I think there's something that he can bring to that role that I'm very excited about. This is, like I said, this is one that was just about being true to myself. So my number 3 is Colin Farrell.
Yeah, man, my number 3 as well. I love Colin Farrell unapologetically. I don't give a shit. I think he's a great actor. I think he's an underrated actor because I think his off-screen bullshit gets in the way of people recognizing him as the great actor that he is. You forgot to mention Seven Psychopaths, which he was fucking great in. I don't know if you ever saw Seven Psychopaths.
Yes, no, absolutely,
so good. He's great, man. I got to be honest with you. You talked about Minority Report, and with good reason. He's fantastic in Minority Report. But there were so many things that I think it's like little nuances, you know. And for the most part, I do love and appreciate the fact that that he brings his Irish accent with him. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's been a few movies where he doesn't have it in him.
In Bruges is the one I almost forgot. Oh my God, In Bruges.
He was great in The Gentleman. I mean, again, these are he has a lot of movies, dude. And the ones I haven't seen like The Lobster, which got like rave reviews. So I haven't seen
that. The one? No, I'm thinking of Tusk. What is The Lobster is the one where it's like a curse or whatever, right?
No, it's like a reincarnation thing where they.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie though. I haven't seen it. So yeah. I never saw his Total Recall. I've said time and time again that I prefer that Total Recall over the Arnold one, and
loved it.
I fucking loved it. He was great in Horrible Bosses. Oh, with that fucking wig.
Oh man, he was great.
Yeah. I mean, like, and like I said, that's what I fell back on. It was just he's can't miss. Just every time I see Colin Farrell, I like the role, and I think that he completely sells everything he does. And like I said, when I made this list, I completely forgot about In Bruges, which is one of the funniest damn movies to come out in 20 years. So yeah.
Missy brings up a great one. He was amazing in Saving Mr. Banks.
That is a good one.
That was
range. That was range in that one too.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Man, that was a good movie. So that's mine and the bonus number 3. So what do you got, Jeff?
My number 3. I don't know if he's gonna get tabled or not. But it is Kenneth Branagh.
Table. and there's the rest of my list.
There's another one I can knock off of my honorable mentions list.
Kenneth Branagh. Yeah. I don't know who Kenneth Branagh is.
Oh God.
Sir, excuse me.
Oh,
surely you can be serious.
Hello, sir. Do you not recall the movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith?
Oh God. This must be what it feels like when a Horcrux get destroyed.
How many Irish people were in Harry Potter? So many.
All of them. All the Irish people were in Harry Potter.
The UK is only this big.
Everybody from Ireland was in.
Yeah. General Hux is in it too. Has anybody got him on their list?
Not him.
All right, so
but I have someone called General Hugs.
A Hug and Kiss, Amanda Hug and Kiss.
Amanda Hug and Kiss.
So the number 3s were Michael Fassbender, Colin Farrell, Kenneth Branagh, and Colin Farrell. Moving on to our number 2s.
Round 2.
Dose, the sequel to Uno.
All right. David, hit me with your number 2, man.
All right, so I went back and forth on who to put at number 1 and number 2, but ultimately I decided to go with the person I first thought of as my number 1 to put at number 1. So my number 2 is Liam Neeson.
That's also my number 2.
That is awesome.
All right, cool. So, I mean, listen, he is absolutely astoundingly good. I mean, this is a great actor. We've all seen Schindler's List and his Oscar Schindler. The guy is like, he proves his acting chops in one movie. However, Schindler's List is not the movie I think of when I think of Liam Neeson, because I think of fun action movies when I think of Liam Neeson. And quite frankly, I'm going to be honest, the first thing I think of is Qui-Gon Jinn. All right. Phantom Menace may be the weakest of, second weakest of all the Star Wars movies now.
Star Wars movie of all time.
No. No, there is a thing called The Last Jedi, and we're not going to waste time talking about that now. All right, but he's fucking amazing as Qui-Gon.
You muted him.
It's just a joke. It's just for the joke. It's just for the joke.
Did he leave?
Man, it's just for the joke. It was just for the
So
joke.
Qui-Gon Jinn, let me tell you how I feel about Qui-Gon Jinn.
It was just for the joke. Why does he get so temperamental? Jeez.
Oh my God. So, but Liam Neeson, since you and I both had him on our list while Dave comes back. Oh, there he is. Go ahead. Qui-Gon Jinn. Go ahead, Dave.
So, yeah, I mean, he's absolutely amazing as Qui-Gon Jinn. Like every action movie that he's done since his like reemergence in Hollywood has been, if not like great, it's been fun. You know, Taken, fucking awesome. I love The Commuter. I love Nonstop.
Which are just taken and taken.
Yeah, you know, it's just I'm okay with that. I'm
Taken
okay
to dark
with that.
territory.
Keep remaking these movies,
Dude,
but
The
we also
Gray.
forget the Gray was awesome.
Gray.
The
End
Gray.
of story.
He is the absolute undisputed best part of Batman Begins.
This is the best freeze frame ever. Did Jeff freeze
It
after
really
his mind
was.
blew for everyone else too? That was incredible.
He
My
is
internet's
the,
like I think it's been in and out.
he is the undisputed best part of Batman Begins as Henry Ducard / Ra's al Ghul. He is just fucking. I mean, oh fuck, in the A-Team.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think
fucking
it was Hannibal.
awesome. Rob Roy is like a great period Irish piece that is like swashbuckling fun. I love that movie. He's one of these guys where he's in a movie, I'm gonna fucking watch it. Darkman is a really underappreciated Sam Raimi comic book style superhero movie.
I can't see a cigar cutter without wincing because of the movie Darkman.
He's
Truth.
dude. Liam Neeson's
He'll come back on in a
Aslan,
second.
bro. Like
Yes, he's
fucking
Aslan. Yeah.
From
Yeah. How do you top
Sorry, I don't know.
God?
I'm telling you. I'm
He
sorry.
is
It's
God.
connected to the internet, but I don't know what he is.
Well,
Yeah.
and in Wrath of the Titans as well.
Oh yeah, he's Zeus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He unleashes the Kraken, guys. He literally unleashes the Kraken. Yeah, he's also my number 2. But and he's great in a lot of things that he does, and everything that Dave said.
Don't let me down, Neri. I know what movie you want to mention.
I mean, I'm okay. Yeah. All right.
Fine. He's in A Million Ways to Die in the West. There you go, Devona.
What was
Love Actually?
Again, I was gonna mention that, but for the viewer, the one who's actually viewing this and not listening to this audio wise, I was gonna bring up what I feel. Hold on, where the fuck is this? Why is it not? Oh, there it is.
Oh, are we trying to do the live YouTube video thing? Yeah.
Oh,
picture right here.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. That requires over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Good luck.
The thing I love about Liam Neeson is that he does this, but then he has no qualms about doing silly shit like A Million Ways to Die in the West. He was the voice of Good Cop, Bad Cop in the Lego Movie.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
He's like,
that's awesome. That's so good.
Like he understands that he's known as this serious actor, but he'll still take these roles where he can just have fun. Yeah, I mean, he was a customer, I think, in Ted 2 in like one of the stores. Like he does these little bit roles, which he doesn't. It's Liam Neeson. He doesn't fucking need to do bit roles, but he does them because it's fun for him.
What if he did? What if he was like, look, I really need an extra
Guys,
$5,000.
I could just use the cash.
I just need an extra.
Can I just walk in the background?
Like, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, guys, I just need an extra $5. My rent's due tomorrow, so if you could just do this really quick scene, I'll walk in, you give me $5,000, I just walk out.
You can just Venmo my landlord.
Yeah. His Venmo is at irish.landlord. Landlord is with a 0. Landlord.
Yeah.
Look, and I knew that he was going to make. I didn't realize he'd make all three of y'all's list. Sorry, I couldn't complete that one for perfection. I knew he'd be up there, and I really do love Liam Neeson. I just couldn't fit him in. I respect the hell out of Liam Neeson. He's my number 1 honorable mention, and if I didn't desperately want to talk about Ruth Nega, he would have been my number 4.
I know that. Yeah.
Missy says Liam Neeson is in Men in Black International. No.
Yes.
I only saw the movie once, so I don't recall. But yes,
He
I'll
is.
say yes.
Missy, my favorite thing about your comments is every time you type no with a question mark, I can hear it in my head. I can perfectly hear your voice saying that.
Yeah, that's I mean, he's great, man. He's great. What are we gonna do? So Liam Neeson is fantastic. Debona?
My number 2, we can talk about him now. My number 2 is Michael Fassbender.
Great.
And I did the same thing as Dave, where I kind of bounced back and forth. I didn't know if people might want to debate whether or not he counted as Irish, since he was born in Germany. But mother is Irish, raised in Ireland. Also, the Irish Times named him as one of the greatest Irish actors of all time. So that was enough for me.
Who are we to argue with an Irish newspaper about who they think? Yeah.
If Ireland's willing to claim him, who the fuck are we, right?
Why wouldn't Irish Times claim him? Like, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not like, what do they have to lose by claiming him? He's like, no, he's not Irish. Fuck that.
But Michael Fassbender is an actor who, again, like Colin Farrell, he's so good at what he does, and it's a smoldering intensity, for as stupid as that probably sounds to say out loud. Sounded a lot cooler in my head. Whenever Michael Fassbender plays a role, he's so 100% invested in that role that everything he does, from the way he touches his face to just the little tiny things that he says, are so good. Michael Fassbender is the only reason that I liked that Assassin's Creed movie. I didn't think that it was terrible. I just didn't think it was great. And Michael Fassbender was awesome in it.
I liked it because I sat next to Neri and we were making fun of it in the theater.
I don't even remember making fun of it. I remember being confused. Like, what's going on?
Making fun of that movie is part of the fun. But
I'm pretty sure that's America's new national pastime.
Yeah, his Magneto is great. Just so many things that he's done have been absolutely amazing. And he's a guy that he was in Prometheus. His name just completely escaped me. David, thank you.
Yeah.
Last week's episode, I was torn between David and Bishop as my Android pick. Like, he's fantastic to watch. He is an absolutely amazing actor. I mean, he's got a ton of stuff that he's done. He's been on TV. He's done movies. He was a voice of Fable 3, which was a great game.
Great game.
And he's a guy that a lot like Colin Farrell, your eye is drawn to him. When Michael Fassbender's on screen, it doesn't really matter who else is on screen, because that's who you're going to pay attention to. And that is what ended up making him crawl this high up my list, was the fact that he chews scenery without being, so overdone about it. Like he can eat up an entire scene and just spit out everybody else who is in it. And you don't even remember that other people were involved in a conversation, because you remember what Michael Fassbender said. I was 100% sold on him when he became Magneto, because I was like, nobody should touch this role. Like that's nobody can play like young Ian McKellen. And then he showed up, and I was like, oh my God, this was amazing. Like I cannot believe that somebody showed up and so perfectly was Magneto while also so perfectly being a young Ian McKellen. It was so well done that's when I started like tracking down just like everything I could find Michael Fassbender in. The very first thing I honestly remember seeing him in and him sticking out was Inglourious Bastards.
That is what I was going to say is like, you're talking about him like just consuming a scene. In a movie that is filled with absolutely incredible scenes. Yeah, the Dreigleise. That scene in the bar might be the best scene in the whole movie. And it's just him sitting at a table talking to a Nazi.
Yes.
And it like you're on the edge of your seat. I mean, granted, a lot of this has to do with, the masterful writing and camera work of Quentin Tarantino, but his delivery of these lines, it is so incredible. And we're talking like this goes back to like just a little bit after, the time of 300, which I think was his first movie. So
yes, I honest to God, like I had to see that he was in there to remember that was him. But I do believe
it's a tiny role, Stelios, but he's there,
It's not that tiny though, because that was a huge emotional thing was between him and his father, because he was him and his father, and like that I wouldn't say that's a tiny role. I mean, in the scope of Leonidas, but him and his father and that relationship of them going into the battle together, even beforehand, like him vouching for him as his father and saying, let him come and all that stuff. I don't think it was that.
Well, here's the thing. He's not even a secondary character. Like he's not on the level of like Delios. He's a tertiary character. But that's the thing, is that he's so like weighty in everything that he does. Like his presence is like it fills the screen. That's such a small role. We remember that. We remember those interactions.
Yeah.
And truthfully, he's not even in Inglourious Bastards for that long.
Right. But you're right.
It's like two scenes and done. And yet, fuck, that's what I remember. I like the scenes I remember most are the scene at the very beginning of the movie with the milk farmer, with the dairy farmer, and that scene in the pub. Like, the fucking spraying the fucking Nazis at the end of the movie, fantastic. It's awesome. But those are the two scenes that I think of when I first think of Inglourious Bastards. He's just, he is so good in everything, and he can do action, he can be funny, he can do drama.
He did 12 Years a Slave and was his part in 12 Years a Slave, just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
look, he's great and he's fantastic, and everything that you guys have mentioned is great. I just in Dark Phoenix, it was just awful. It was.
I don't think it was that bad.
No, the movie was bad. I think his performance was fucking bad, specifically because he didn't. First of all, it's not this part isn't his fault. They didn't age them at all. The movie's supposed to take place. Yeah. They're already supposed to be getting to that older age level, and they didn't.
You can still hear it.
It literally sounded like you were shushing me.
Yeah, it was louder than maybe if you would have just not covered it.
I just funneled it into the microphone.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the bone, and I thought he was shushing near you. I was like, "Oh man, we're getting."
I'm here for this.
I do this all the time. Why is everybody getting quiet?
I'm gonna fucking get out of this. No, I just so this part wasn't his fault. They didn't put makeup on him. They didn't make him look older. Both him and the James Avery were supposed to be already getting to that age. They were already in their 40s or 50s. If this movie
McAvoy,
I'm sorry, James McAvoy. You're right.
Not Shredder.
So, they're already supposed to be. They were in the 60s. They were in their 20s. So by the time he rolled into the 90s, right? It's like the fuck, dude. So no makeup. His accent didn't change at all. I'm okay with the Dark Phoenix movie. It's Fassbender's portrayal really let me down because of what DeBono was saying earlier, his in Days of Future Past was fucking brilliant. His the other one, the X-Men First Class. I mean, that was just fucking great. All of this was great, and then I think he just phoned it in for that last one, and that's what bothers me about that one. But I will say, with that said, everything else that man has been in is fucking phenomenal and fantastic. I think my only personal gripe is that that's the last thing I've seen him in. It's fucking
fair enough.
It's the most recent thing I've seen him in. But everything else he's done, I'm all for it. If I was at Irish newspaper, I would be claiming him too. So he's fucking great. Can't argue that, man. All right, so that's the. Let me see here. So number 2s we had Liam Neeson, Michael Fassbender, Liam Neeson, and Liam Neeson. So
Liam Neeson.
All right. So who do you guys have for your honorable mentions?
Okay, so the one that very nearly like made my list as number 4 was Gabriel Byrne.
Also an honorable mention.
Yeah, and he's one that has like an incredible body of work. But
End of Days still.
Oh my god,
the opening scene of End of Days is still like.
Oh, it's so good, so good.
Genius in Hereditary too. Recently,
yes. Oh man, so good, really good. Understated, like, and he's not the star of the movie there, but so good in that movie. Cole Meaney, who is
that's what I thought was on your list.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I couldn't put him on the list, but his role in Star Trek, both The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, is great. I mean, he's one of those like great side characters that you just
the
like.
Asshole from Con Air.
Yes, and,
yes, God, yes.
And get him to the Greek.
Mr. Dictionary over here. Actually, would be Mr. Thesaurus.
A woman that I know from one movie, Alice in Duty, as Elsa Schneider in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
She's Irish?
She's totally Irish. Yeah, if you've ever heard her speak in the what is this, the special features and all that, they do the interviews and stuff, and the moment she opened her mouth, I'm like, you're not German at all. And a guy who I think is he's had great roles in a ton of movies that we all love. Dan O'Herlihy is, I think, like one of those like unsung heroes of the 80s. You could always count on him when you needed like a dirtbag. He was so great. So that's my honorable mention list.
All right. DeBono, what do you got for honorable mention?
Just a couple, classic wise, but I've only seen a couple movies. You got Peter O'Toole, you got Maureen O'Hara.
Maureen O'Hara.
Right? Oh yeah, no. Like betting, yes, Maureen O'Hara is a golden age of film timepiece. But just a couple, Cillian Murphy, which who is incredible in Peaky Blinders. Sure, he's a great Jonathan Crane and all that, but Peaky Blinders just absolutely fantastic.
28 Days Later, man.
And 28 Days Later, absolutely. I'm gonna look here and make sure I'm pronouncing her name right. Saoirse Ronan.
I got corrected by Christy today.
Yeah, Saoirse, I believe, is how I eventually found how to spell her name today. Thought she was amazing in what was not a great movie in The Lovely Bones. Has gone on to do great things, including the movie Brooklyn, which you have not seen. Which, if you have not seen, has got a lot of the actors that we're talking about today in it. Great movie. Saoirse Ronan is fantastic. Eventually, she's going to be somebody that if we were to redo this mountain in 10 years, a lot of us would be talking a lot more about. And then I've got Brendan Gleeson and Jonathan Rhys-Myers are my two other honorable mentions.
Brendan Gleeson, I think of a lot as like Dan O'Herlihy. He's like one of these like unsung heroes of. Yeah.
He's a guy who pops up like when you go look up Brendan Gleeson, you go, "Oh, that guy!
Oh, yeah, that guy! I know
that guy."
Jeff, what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mentions. I'm gonna throw in Fiona Shaw. You may know her as the evil aunt from Harry Potter. I know her as one of my favorite movies that nobody else has ever seen, Undercover Blues. She was Paulina Novacek, the evil villain in that movie, and she was amazing in that movie. So I'm throwing her in there. Ivana Patricia Lynch, which is Luna Lovegood. I loved Luna Lovegood in the film. I think the actress was wonderful. Chris O'Dowd, which he's from one of my favorite British shows ever, The IT Crowd.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids.
And Bridesmaids.
Yep.
But like for me, like I just rewatched The IT Crowd again for like the 5th time. Like I own the whole like all 4 series of it on DVD. Absolutely love it.
Turn it off and turn it back on again.
Yeah. Aidan Gillen, which is Littlefinger from and then most of the other ones were mentioned already, Gabriel Byrne, stuff like that.
Which is who I thought might be on your shirt, by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Usual Suspect shirt. I was like, oh, Gabriel Byrne might be on there.
No, it's the show Missy's never going to watch, Supernatural. I hope she's still watching.
She's not alone. She's not alone.
Yeah, I know. I gave up on you.
I never started that. I was like, that's too long.
I know. Yeah, that's why I gave up on you.
My honorable mentions are Liam Cunningham, just because of that one role in Game of Thrones, Davos. Right. Stuart Townsend, and Syrian Hinds. Syrian Hinds is very underrated. He's been in a bunch of shit, and of course he was in Harry Potter movies because he's Irish. So he's in Harry Potter movies. But he was in the 2017 Justice League, which apparently nobody but me liked. And he was in Munich, and he was also in Ghost Rider Spirit.
Oh, Munich was so good.
Yeah. Oh,
God, it was.
I thought you were going to say.
I thought he was about to say Ghost Rider.
No,
Spirit of
Munich.
No. The range.
He was also.
He could do good movies. He could do bad movies.
Well, he could do great movies, and then he could do Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. He was also in There Will Be Blood and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, but I don't remember him in those movies.
He played Soldier, I think, in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I believe he was Soldier.
Incredible. He was absolutely incredible as Soldier.
I never saw the movie.
Oh, fucking dope movie, Tinker Tailor. Oh, so good.
The only reason why I knocked that movie at all is because having read the book, and actually the whole book series, they present in the film some of the facts out of order, which makes the reveal at the end a little less satisfying. In the book, it plays out a little differently. Everything is exactly the same, and Gary Oldman is absolutely amazing as George Smiley. Just like Syrian Hines is awesome as Soldier. I can't remember the name of the his proper name, but fucking awesome. You need to watch that, Neri. It's great.
Oh, and one other that I forgot to mention is Domhnall Gleeson, who was Bill Weasley and General Hux.
General Hux? Still holding for General Hux.
All right. Let's go to our number ones.
Round 1. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
And number 1.
Do it! Do it! Come on! Come on!
Missy says, I'm still watching, and I can confirm I will never watch Supernatural.
At least I got her into Banshee. So she's watching Banshee.
You said that's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
She watched the first episode and she's like, I'm in.
Yeah,
so at least I got her watching Banshee.
I'm waiting for her to watch Legends of the Fall. So, we'll wait for her that. Dave, what's your number 1, man?
My number 1 should come as a surprise to absolutely no one. My number 1 is Pierce Brosnan.
That's I didn't want to mention him in the honorable mentions because I assumed that somebody here would have him, but he was my top. He was like my number 5 pick if I could have had
him. Yeah, I got you.
Pierce Brosnan. All right.
Yeah, I went back and forth between him and Liam Neeson at my number 1, and ultimately I ended up going with Pierce Brosnan because he's the first one who came to mind, and I kind of kept going back to, but he's James Bond. Yeah, but he's James Bond, so it didn't matter what I thought about Liam Neeson. The James Bond card kept trumping that, and he's one of these guys that not often I think gets to flex his range, because I do think that he's a good actor. I mean, obviously he's known for his action, you know, even outside of Bond, you know, movies like November Man and Dante's Peak and, you know, stuff like that. And he always does kind of play that, you know, secret agent-y role, but he is good. I mean, he can be really fucking funny. You know, we've seen him in like Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, obviously Robin Williams is the guy, right, in Mrs. Doubtfire, but he's really funny in Mrs. Doubtfire. He can do drama too, because for those of you that haven't seen the movie he did with Jackie Chan a couple years ago, The Foreigner.
Oh
my
awesome.
God! Like, I mean, that is Jackie Chan's vehicle, but Pierce Brosnan is like diabolical in that movie. And he's just, I mean, he's one of these guys that has been with me for so long. You know, GoldenEye came out in 1995. You know, but Doubtfire was before that. But I wouldn't have called myself a fan of him when I saw Mrs. Doubtfire. I was a fan of the movie. But, you know, come 1995, GoldenEye comes out, and that's it. I'm hooked. I'm in. Brosnan for life, you know? And I just, anything that he's in, I'm going to stop and watch, including Mamma Mia. You know, it's one of those things, like, I'm not even an ABBA fan.
Movie. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not even an ABBA fan, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch Mamma Mia if it's on.
Was your favorite role? Was your favorite role of his as the Centaur in Percy Jackson?
You know, it's funny because I was those are the two movies that I was waiting for Dave to finish and be like, you're not gonna mention Mamma Mia or fucking Percy Jackson. You're just gonna skip right over those.
Well, the other one I do want to mention is Mars Attacks. He is so fucking good in Mars Attacks. On top of Mars Attacks being just like an amazing fucking movie, he is so good in it.
All of you continually skip Thomas Crown Affair.
He just mentioned it. He just mentioned it in the chat.
My God, Thomas Crown Affair is so good. Like, when I knew him as 007, and then I watched Thomas Crown Affair, to see him completely flip that script and to become, I mean, he was still James Bond, right? But he was like the bad guy James Bond, right?
Yeah.
It was incredible. And like that, Thomas Crown Affair and Remington Steele, outside of being 007, are what I go to when I think of Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, he kind of pigeonholed himself into, you know, unfortunately, into this sort of like secret agent, badass, like guy with guns and gadgets dude with Remington Steele at the beginning of his career. But I mean, he made a fucking living out of it, and he's fantastic.
So goddamn good though. Like for like 80s action nonsense. Yeah. So good.
There's far worse pigeonholes to put yourself in than fucking like, oh, he's always got to be the suave, good looking.
Yeah. James Gandolfini. James Gandolfini did a way worse job pigeonholing himself than Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can only be a fat mob boss, chief.
No lie. I know I'm gonna get shit, but no lie. If you watch Laws of Attraction, I mean, I remember, you know, we've talked about this. Dave and I have talked about this, you know, ad nauseum. When he's a huge James Bond fan. My James Bond is Pierce Brosnan. That's my James Bond. That's what I think of when I think of James Bond. I think of Pierce Brosnan. So to watch him in Laws of Attraction, which is, I don't want to say a romantic comedy because it's not really comedy. It's
romantic dramedy.
I'll give you that.
And to watch him in that, and to watch him believably be head over heels in love, but yet have to he plays a divorce attorney, and he falls in love with another divorce attorney, which is played by the amazing what's her name, the redheaded chick, what's her name,
Julianne Moore.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, maybe in my teens, being like, what the fuck is James Bond doing fucking being in? Okay, no, it's cool. Oh yeah, he did a good role. So yeah, I'm a fan of that movie, man. I'm a fan of that of Pierce Brosnan. He's great. He would have been my number 5. Honestly, he was my number 4 for a while, and I was gonna put him on as my number 4 because Richard Harris was only in 3 or 4 movies that I knew, but the magnitude in those 3 or 4 movies that Richard played to me just outweighed it. But it's like I had the exact opposite reaction when I was like, oh, but Pierce Brosnan did more movies, and I was like, but he played he was in Gladiator. He's like, no, but he was James Bond. I'm like, but he was the Emperor. I don't know if you're aware of this, so I just gave up. But yeah, it's a great pick, man.
Thank you. Let's
see. Missy says Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah,
and she's clapping.
I got you, Missy. I was not gonna let them forget Thomas Crown Affair.
No, it's great.
And it's sexy as fuck. Like it's the only time I've ever looked at Renee Russo and been like, Like,
Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon.
Oh wait, Lethal Weapon. You're right. I forgot about Lethal Weapon.
That scene where they're showing each other scars. Oh man,
yeah. I'm stepping back. I apologize. I forgot about Lethal Weapon.
I was like, sir.
Thomas Crown Affair is sexy though, but you're right, Lethal Weapon. But all of Thomas Crown Affair, that movie is just fucking sex on screen, like just constantly.
Yeah,
I ain't mad about it.
All right, DeBono, what do you got for your number one, man?
My number one is who I genuinely consider to be one of, if not the greatest actors of our lifetime. This is a guy that I will watch do anything and everything, and that is Sir Kenneth Branagh. I am continuously, nonstop, and 100% always floored by anything and everything that Kenneth Branagh does. This is a guy who managed to escape the fact that at the beginning of his career, they tried to pigeonhole Kenneth Branagh as the new Laurence Olivier. They tried to say that's what this guy does, right? Like he's just the new Laurence Olivier. He's going to do Shakespeare. And while he has made an amazing career out of doing Shakespeare and been fantastic in all the Shakespeare he's done Hamlet, he's done Othello.
Hamlet that he directed. I'm talking about the directed one.
Yes,
so fucking good.
He's done Henry V. He's done Twelfth Night. He's done all of this, and all of it is great. Like, people, you get snobs that don't like certain aspects of what he does, but I think that all of it that he's done has been amazing. But then this is also a guy who takes himself not seriously at all and is willing to make Wild Wild West.
And he killed it as Loveless. Like,
fucking ate that movie alive.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of what he did as Loveless was so amazing. Then he shows up in Harry Potter as the goofiest fucking character in like the whole series as Gilderoy Lockhart and smashes it. This is a guy who is so good at acting that he can go from being Iago in Othello and selling a tragic, fucked up role to being Gilderoy Lockhart or Loveless in Wild Wild West. And you're 100% invested in everything he does. I would follow Kenneth Branagh and his acting career to the absolute ends of the earth. This man can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, he absolutely killed that shit, man. Sorry, that's a very underrated movie, and I know a lot of people give that movie a lot of shit.
Oh, no, that movie's great.
Good.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, he's great.
He just, every time he shows up, or if he... or if he's got a hand in something, if he's directing it, if his name is attached in any way to something, Jack Ryan, not Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, but Shadow Recruit. Like it's just so much of that.
Valkyrie, he was a Valkyrie.
Yeah,
and Murder on the Orient Express, he was
he's Hercule Poirot, which I fucking loved him as Poirot.
Yeah. The guy's a not miss. Like he is your favorite. Like that's who you bet on. If Kenneth Branagh is in a movie, that's a safe bet. Even if that movie flops, I like watching Wild Wild West. Is it a good movie? No. Is it fun to watch? Yes. And he's still incredible in it. It's just you can't miss with this guy. And as soon as we started this. As soon as we suggested this topic, I was like, I need to go double check and make sure that Kenneth Branagh is Irish because I'm pretty sure he is. And as soon as I found out he was, that was the only set spot on my list was that Kenneth Branagh was going to be number one. This guy, like I said, he's 100% can't miss. I love Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh, I had just started to kind of get into theater and appreciate Shakespeare and stuff like that when I was in high school. When I watched, actually, it was when I watched his Much Ado About Nothing. And that was when I was like, okay, so this shit can be like funny too, right? Like theater doesn't all have to be serious, and I became so entrenched in Shakespeare, Kenneth Branagh's Shakespeare, that it really altered the course of what I looked for in movies and what I liked watching and things like that, because he was so good in all these roles. And like I said, if we were just doing like whatever, a roundabout year from when we were all born till now, best actors possible, Kenneth Branagh would also make that list for me, because this is just a guy that I absolutely adore.
Mm-hmm. Do you like him though? Jeff, what do you got for your number one?
So my number one, just a little kind of preface. So the way I ended up figuring out that he was my favorite is it was the same way I realized Tom Hanks was my favorite actor. That I was like, oh wait, he was in this, and he was really good in this. Oh wait, he was in this, and he was really good in this. Oh, and it just went on and on. So my number one, ironically enough, DeBona mentioned General Hux is his dad, and it's Brendan Gleeson.
That's my number one as well.
Oh yeah?
That is my number one as well. That man is a fucking phenomenal actor.
He's incredible. He can play a Scottish guy in Braveheart. Like,
you go through his filmography. Braveheart, obviously my number one movie of all time. My favorite.
Yeah, he was Hamish.
It's Amish. No kidding. He was in Gangs in New York.
Oh my God, he was in New York.
He was the mayor. He was the barber that became the mayor.
Butcher. I forgot the other Butcher. About that. Yeah. He was in 28 Days Later. That shot where the fucking blood goes in his eye. It's fucking great, right? He was in Troy. He was in Edge of Tomorrow. He was Kingdom of Heaven. He was phenomenal. Yeah. He was such a great villain.
DeBona mentioned he was in Bruges, which is amazing movie. He played off Colin Farrell.
I haven't seen it in Bruges.
It's phenomenal. You'll love it. And him and Colin Farrell play off each other just amazing throughout the entire film.
He was in Matt Damon's The Green Zone, which is a super underrated movie. That movie was fucking great.
He was in Paddington 2, which made, I think, the number one on my list for the year it came out when we did the top 10 list for movies. Yeah. He played this prison cook that Paddington, like, that he's all tatted up and he's like the hard ass, and Paddington ends up making him this like super happy-go-lucky like chef, but it's amazing what he does. Like,
I've never seen Paddington 2. Does he get locked up in it?
No.
Yes. Paddington 2, he does get locked up in it.
I know. Yeah. You just went through the whole thing about how he's a prison cook.
Yeah.
And the bonus, like, did he get locked up in it? Like, no.
No, he was just visiting. It was like a really weird conjugal visit.
Great.
It was a weird conjugal visit.
He was this dude Brendan was in Far and Away. He's been in such amazing movies, and he's been great in every single one. But here's the fucking caveat. I'm not, again, Braveheart, everybody knows, my favorite movie of all time. That's fine. But the fucking creme de la creme, bro, as far as acting performances go, is The Cavalry. If you ever watched The Cavalry,
I haven't seen it yet.
Shit. I own it. It's in the family share. First of all, it is not a pick-me-up. Do not go into this movie thinking like, hey, let's just watch fucking summer fun movie. It is a dark, fucking heavy movie. If you watch The Cavalry, you better fucking, you better bring your weights, bro. You better bring your fucking shorts. You're going to do some squatting. It's a fucking heavy movie, dude. The performance that everybody in that movie gives is great, but the performance he gives, because he's like in every scene, and it's so fucking amazing. I went through when I first saw this movie, and I saw it, like, I owned it, but I hadn't seen it in forever. And I first saw this movie, it was like towards the end of 2019. I then went on Twitter and was like fucking waiting for anybody to talk about this. I started searching this fucking director. I started searching the fucking hashtags just so I could find somebody to talk to about this movie with. It is so fucking excellent. It is just, it is, when we talk about perfect movies, it is such a perfect movie. Again, not a pick-me-up, not a light movie. It is super heavy. Don't Fucking don't go into it if you're having a bad day or something. But fuck, dude, it stuck with me. That performance stuck with me. That whole shit just stuck with me. And like, oh,
you guys talk about range on these character actors that they can go from one movie to the next to the next. The range of movies that Neri just mentioned and I mentioned, it's so different. Like Paddington 2 to In Bruges to Braveheart, where he's like this crazy like amazing Scott. Then you've got what's this movie? Oh my god, I'm having a
Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh no.
God,
Kingdom of Heaven, but in Harry Potter, him as Mad-Eye Moody.
Kingdom of Heaven, but yeah, Mad-Eye Moody.
Yeah,
him as Mad-Eye Moody. Like when he's in the scene, like he steals the scene.
Yeah,
like I think he's one of these guys. Like you had mentioned to Bona when you mentioned him as honorable mention. Like he's that guy that you're like, oh yeah, he's in this.
Yep.
But to me, every time I thought of him, oh yeah, he's in this. I was like, man, and he stole that.
Yeah,
like he stole that scene, or he did it. Like he was with Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York, just going toe to toe with Daniel Day-Lewis in those scenes.
And Leonardo DiCaprio.
And DiCaprio.
Like, Missy, can you throw it up, Neri? Because Missy's mentioned he was in Mission Impossible 2, which was not a great movie, but he played a great role in it.
True.
You know what I think is amazing about his performance as Mad-Eye Moody, specifically in the fourth Harry Potter movie, is that he's not really playing Mad-Eye Moody.
He's playing somebody who's playing Mad-Eye Moody.
Playing Barty Crouch, playing Mad-Eye Moody. It's like a mind fuck of a genius performance. It's really rather incredible. You don't realize it the first time you watch it if you've never read the books before. But if you go back after seeing the whole series and you watch that movie again, it's like fuck, there are such subtleties to this.
Absolutely. When you go back and you rewatch it, you do realize that he plays Mad-Eye Moody in the later movies differently than he played Barty Crouch being Mad-Eye Moody. And I will 100% give you that, because that is very true.
It's not something that you really get to see in a lot of his other performances, because he's playing the same character throughout the film. And I don't really think, with the exception of Harry Potter, he's done any sequels. So it's like, fuck, that's one hell of a fucking performance. And you see it unfold over a series of films.
I'm not the dude. I'm the dude playing a dude. Playing
a dude, pretending to be another dude.
All right, so yeah, that's my number one as well. So our number ones go Pierce Brosnan, Kenneth Branagh, and then Brendan Gleeson. So twice.
Do we have 5 that have multiple votes this week? We've got Fassbender.
So Liam has 2.
Farrell has 2.
Liam has 3. Colin Farrell has 2.
Branagh has 2.
Brendan Gleeson has 2. No, he mentioned Fassbender first already.
Yeah, so there are 5.
Kenneth Branagh.
Are we gonna have to eliminate somebody with multiple votes this week?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it can't be Liam Neeson because he has 3.
Right.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of
Liam Neeson's got it number 1 with a bullet, right? Because he's got 3 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but now Farrell, Fassbender, Branagh, and Gleeson all have 2 votes.
All right, but here's the thing. I don't think it can be Gleeson because he was a number 1 pick for 2 people.
Right.
So we can't eliminate him.
Well, the number 4. So who do we have as a down?
Kenneth Branagh. It was DeBona's number 1 and my number 3.
The lowest would be the fact that Colin Farrell has got 2 number 3 votes, I think.
Well, no, Michael Fassbender has a number 3 vote as well.
But he's also got a number 2. Yeah.
So Colin Farrell's got 2 number 3 votes. So doesn't that make him lower?
Yeah, that would make him lower on the list.
All right, so let's add. You know what we should do? We should do point values because this is the first time we have to fucking do this.
Right. So point values.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
So
whoever's got 3 votes.
Whoever has the most votes is eliminated.
Or is
I'm saying count up like what position they were in.
Right. What they're saying there's 2 number 1s. There's 2 number 1s, so that's in. So then is there a 1 and a 2? Then that's
a 1 and a 3, so he's in, right?
Right. There's a 3 and a 3, but there's somebody else that's a 3 and a 2.
There's a 2 and a 3, so that would outrank a 3 and a 3.
Right.
So I think the final 3 is going to be Gleeson, Branagh, Fassbender, Neeson.
Right. I think that's it. Yeah.
All right, so, all right. So, hold on. Brenda.
Sorry to see
Sorry, Colin.
Big go. Yeah.
All right. So, Michael Fassbender has, if the number 4 has 1 point, number 4s have 1 point, number 3s have 2 points, number 2s have 3 points, and number 1s have 4 points.
Right.
That's where we're going to announce it.
Sure.
So, Brendan Gleeson has 8 points.
Correct.
Right. He's in. Liam Neeson has 9 points. So he's in. Michael Fassbender has 2.
No.
Where else is Michael? Wait, where is it? Where else?
Because I've got Michael Fassbender.
I think our way made more sense.
Wait,
you're working very hard, Neri.
Yeah. So 3. So Michael Fassbender has 5. So
there
Michael
you go.
Fassbender has 5 points. I just took me a while to scroll down. Colin Farrell has 4 points. So there you go. So yeah. Well, I went the long way of just going to the same
our way. Yeah.
You took the long way home. Little super tramp there for you.
Heyo.
Yeah. Okay.
So Colin Farrell is the multiple votes that falls off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our final mountain is Liam Neeson, Kenneth Branagh, Brendan Gleeson, and Michael Fassbender.
That's a badass list of folks right there.
Colin Farrell can be Cary Grant hanging off of Mount Rushmore in North by Northwest.
I guess Colin Farrell just got swatted.
He can be the he can be the native people carving him into the mountain like Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could be the guy that goes up the nose and then clicks it and then the fucking things fall. You get it, right? From fucking National Treasure 2.
Yeah. He's our Alexander Hamilton.
No. All right.
He can be what's oh my god, what's his name? John Larroquette in Richie Rich.
And oh man, John Larroquette, is he Irish?
I don't think so.
You know who Google considers Irish?
Robert De Niro.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Wait, who did you say?
Robert De Niro.
I
saw it too. Yeah.
Google be tripping.
No, I mean technically he has Irish ancestry.
That's why he can't be a made man. I learned that in Goodfellas.
Right.
Literally, it's literally what
says it in Goodfellas.
I literally told that to Missy. Missy's like, did you know? She said, did you know? De Niro's Irish. I go, yeah, that's why he can't become a made man. And that fucking joke went over her like fucking.
John Larroquette's closer to French than he is Irish because he was born in Louisiana.
All right, we'll bring him back around with Christopher Lambert when we do this around. I don't know what the French holiday.
Bastille Day.
Bastille Day. There you go.
Bastille Day. We'll bring back Larroquette and Lambert.
That or the opening of Ratatouille, the ride at France in Epcot. A glorious for France.
I didn't know it was a holiday for giving up. Anyways, thank you guys for checking us out, man. Make sure you check out the other podcasts on the Geekboard Network, including Better Let Me Tell You, Child Like a Best with Mike Valdez, A Dose of Ellie, the What's Up Bro podcast that just did their 301st episode. So make sure you guys check that out, geekbro.net. Mt.Geekmore is also a part of the Helium Comedy Podcast Network. So go to heliumpresents.com. Make sure you guys check that out, heliumpresents.com. A lot of great podcasts on there, including The Bathroom Wall with my good friend Ricky Cruz and David's cousin, which is also a good friend of mine, Luis Diaz. So make sure you guys check that out.
Hilarious. Bathroom Wall and Luis Diaz. Hilarious, folks.
It's a funny show. So make sure you guys check that out. Go to geekbro.net. My comedy's at whatwashisname.com or naryscience.com, but nobody remembers how to spell it. Like us on Facebook and YouTube, and then follow us live, and then you can comment and you can watch us live video. And if you're listening to this audio version and you want to catch the video version of it even after it aired, it's up on YouTube and Facebook. So make sure you check us out, subscribe to our page, and hit that little bell, man. Anyways, thank you very much for checking us out. That's how lists are made.